Hello everyone, my name is Cletus and welcome to the Clan. So without further ado, let's get into this video. But before we get into the video, please smash me the like button because guys, it helps the YouTube channel to grow. The algorithm basically gets triggered and then it promotes the video to more people. And of course, we want more members of the clan to come and join. To everybody that has joined the family, welcome, warmly welcome. I hope you came here with your two IQs because you are going to rub them together and you will spark opinions and speculation because we were not there. We are not lawyers, we're not judges, we are not legal experts, but we do have a gray matter and we are able to spark some kind of sensibility in what's going on in the Senzo Mewa murder trial. I've said this before on this very channel that I don't, personally me, Clantis Dumagute, does not believe that Senzo Mewa is ever going to get justice in this matter. It's going to be a miscarriage of justice. We are brazenly witnessing miscarriage of justice taking place in Ratha courtroom in the Gauteng High Court. Now, let's talk about this morning. This morning, Mr. Mngomezulu did not attend court because he has another court matter. And I think it has to do with the matter that the MPA is pursuing him for attempted murder and all of that stuff that he was accused of in a scuffle between himself and his wife, whom, by the way, has attempted several times to withdraw this matter. But the MPA decided no, they are going to go ahead anyway. And all of this happened in 2022. Now, from many people whom I've heard, including this very community, believe that Mngomezulu, they are trying to move him from the Senzo Mewa murder trial because seemingly he seems to be a danger to whatever the agenda is when it comes to this matter. Of course, we don't know what the agenda is, but we are not stupid either because we can tell that the death of Senzo Mewa is being smeared on 5 men that stand accused of killing him instead of going to the 5 or 6 or 7 people that were with Senzo Mewa on the 26th of October 2014, and none of them thus far has been held accountable. All we've been hearing is nothing but lies from the state side and its witnesses. So now, for me, this morning was not, for me, it was not a surprise because, you know, that type of judge that we have, he created this environment. He created the environment that is now biting him in the face because suppose Mr. Mngomezulu did consult with the judge or through the registrar and say, listen, I'm not going to be able to make it this morning for whatever reasons are. Do you think this judge would have accepted it just like that when he sat on the bench this morning? No, he was still going to rant nonetheless. You know why? Because he disrespects the defense. He has no regard for the defense. And on top of that, is very prejudiced to the accused. That's just my opinion and my observation of this particular judge. So now when Mngomezulu is put in this position where now he has to either SMS or text or whatever the case might be with a judge that he knows very well is going to give him a hard time, I myself will not do it. Yes, I understand what Mr. Mngomezulu done according to the legal fraternity is wrong. I will not support that. He should at least send a WhatsApp. I agree he should have sent a WhatsApp and just let me go on with the day. How Judge Ratha will feel thereafter, that is his own problem. Because I do believe that in law school as well as PLTs, you are indeed trained or at least drummed in your ear that the conduct of a lawyer, advocate, or whatever it is in the court must be upstanding. Because these things have a tendency as well of biting you later on in your career. Suppose you want to be a judge someday and then you want what you call these political parties that are going to interview you, not to bring this sort of situation where you once disrespected the court. Let's forget Ratha, but let's talk about the office. That means the courtroom itself, the court itself. So on that one, I am now going to support Mr. Mngomezulu on that he did not at least speak to the registrar of Mr. Ratha's chambers. However, though, again, this is the environment that Mr. Ratha has created. and now he feels disrespected. He feels disrespected. I don't understand why you would even go as far and then smearing black lawyers and say black lawyers, is this how they behave? Okay, he did correct himself at some point and said some black lawyers and a black judge, and he said some very unnecessary things in his indignation in the court, which I still feel like, this judge is definitely a rude human being. It's got nothing to do with the privileges that he has as a judge in this country to do as he pleases and say whatever he wants. I just think that naturally he's a sarcastic person, he's rude, obnoxious, possibly even struggles with narcissism. That's just my opinion on once again, because what we witnessed this morning, and he was dragging, he really was dragging and dragged Mr. Mngomezulu because he has some kind of vile disregard for Mr. Mngomezulu. Why? Because Mr. Mngomezulu clearly is doing a good job in defending his client. And then on top of that, he goes on about why would Mr. Bisibia would feel comfortable being represented by a man that is already fired. I was like, you know what? Mr. Mngomezulu and Mr. Ramusipile, I do believe they are still working together. I don't believe that Mr. Sibia fired Mr. Ramusipile. I think they are still working as a team one way or the other. Mr. Ramusipile possibly said, listen, you can take Mr. Sibia and I will continue with accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi, and then we'll still work together. So that is why Mr. Mngomezulu was able and comfortably able to ask Mr. Ramusipile to please take over. Of course, conveying the message through Advocate Mshololo. So again, I still think that there is a situation going on in the defense. I just wish that they will blend together and work together the way we used to see them working together. I'm not quite sure if because of the witnesses that are being taken to the stand don't necessarily spark any kind of activity from the other defense lawyers. I do not know. I don't know if this is the agreement that you are not going to ask a follow-up question and mess up what the first defense lawyer has already said. I have no idea what's going on there. But for me, I am not surprised that this is where we find ourselves, because Mr. Ratha created this environment where now lawyers are starting to disrespect the court itself. Other than that, I don't think there is anything to report on what happened thereafter when they commenced with today's proceedings, because they brought 2 witnesses, a photographer as well as the interpreter, whom we already heard I would still say they lies, and they continue to lie this morning. If you are interested in seeing or watching that clip of that so-called testimony, I will post it a little bit later. Right now, I'm just going to post you guys a clip of what transpired this morning and how Ratha Mokgoatleng was so indignant about an environment that he created himself. He created this. He should take accountability for the way he treats the defense. And now the defense is afraid. I think they are afraid of him. That is why now they are thinking, if I even do what is supposed to be done and respect the court, this judge is still going to disrespect me. So I don't want to be disrespected by this judge. I might as well just cut him off and just speak to my colleague to convey the message for me that I'm not going to be present today because my matter rolled over to today, and therefore I cannot be present and represent my client. He created this. He created this, in my opinion. Other than that, guys, let's see each other a little bit later. Maybe you want to have more discussion about this. Tomorrow is a public holiday, which I even forgot. By the way, guys, the reason why you are seeing me working at home is because the office moved. And since the office moved, there are some things that they are doing at the office, plus stuff that I also want in my office. The color of the walls, I don't like it. So they're busy painting and, decorating the entire thing. So I decided that I'm going to start working from home until they are done. So don't wonder why you still at home when you're supposed to be at work. Yeah, that's the reason. Other than that, guys, let's see each other and check out this clip and then make a commentary. What do you think? Is it Ratha Mokgoatleng's doing, or Mngomezulu is just disrespectful of the court itself? Anyways, see you later.
Is this how lawyers, black lawyers, maybe we should just tell the truth. Is this how black lawyers behave? some of them, maybe I should qualify that. How can you tell a judge that you are unable to proceed today because the two witnesses, which you said were short witnesses,
Yes.
he doesn't know what they said. He has to read the evidence of those two witnesses, prepare and come here. Thereafter he comes and says, you know what, I don't have a problem with the evidence of those two witnesses.
No, my recollection is that he was present when they testified.
I'm told he was, but
Yeah.
I just kept quiet.
Yeah, he
You
was.
remember I told him that I
Yes,
know
yeah.
all the tricks.
Yeah, he was present when they testified.
You are not available. That's why you are not
Yes.
saying you want to sit today. The reason you are proffering, it's not the real one.
Yes. So he was present. Hence, he said the leading of the evidence of the two short witnesses can continue, and we'll then make further arrangements regarding the further conduct of the case after the two witnesses were out. That's the message that was conveyed.
So why is he not coming today?
Well, my lord, as he indicated on Tuesday that he ceased with this other matter that appeared on Wednesday, and from what
So he ceased with another matter.
yes,
Another matter.
yes, I think he put that on record, my lord. When the court pressed him, and I really don't want to carry the can for him, but when the court asked him, as to what the real reason is for the postponement, I think he did indicate that he's ceased with another matter, and that's why we then rolled the matter to today. And
So he still ceased with that other
yes,
matter.
and that matter ran over to from yesterday to today.
Yeah. So today we don't sit.
Well, from what he said is that we can continue with the evidence. He doesn't have real issue with the evidence of the two witnesses. That's what.
Why doesn't he phone me?
Yes, that's what I would have expected.
This is
that,
what counsel or an attorney
that, yes.
who has ethical
Yes.
standards does. I get a message through my register.
Registrar.
The attorney or the advocate himself doesn't phone the judge. And the judge must smile because he's black. And you know when the JP said I should take this case, he told me that this matter has problems. And I agreed to take it. So I must do the same thing, inherit the problems which happened before I sat here, and associate myself with those problems. So where counsel tells you, you can go to hell, judge, I'm not coming today. I'm coming tomorrow because the matter which I was handling on Tuesday overstepped the limit. You can go home.
As the court pleases say, Mr. Mgomezulu will have to come and explain himself. I'm really not going to do his bidding. He'll have to come and explain himself.
So what do we do today?
Well, we are ready to proceed with the one witness is here. The other one is still on the way. So we can, if it carries everybody's blessing, we can carry on with the evidence of the two short witnesses.
I'm told there's a third witness you wanted to introduce.
Yes. Well, as far as that is concerned, my lord, that is the arrangement. I indicated that we can discuss that perhaps in chambers. We have tentatively agreed with my colleagues, subject to the court's confirmation, that in light of the absence of advocate of Mr. Mgomezulu, we will not lead that evidence today. We will wait until he has returned,
If he doesn't return, what happens?
as it impacts on his client.
It impacts on his client.
Yes.
Yeah.
My lord, Lord, I don't know if any of my colleagues have got any inputs to make in this regard. I don't know
Yes,
if
let them make
he
an input,
contacted
Mr.
them
Ramsey. What's your view?
to make further arrangements.
If it may please the court, my lord. My lord, I was informed this morning by my learned colleague, Ms. Mushololo, Advocate Mushololo, that she received a call from Mr. Mgomezulu requesting that I stand in for him. And I indicated, in the light of the experience that we had, I'm in no position to stand in for him because I'll be conflicted in that instance, my lord. So I don't know which other colleague was requested to stand in for him. And he never contacted me personally, my lord. So that's far as I will take it, my lord. That's the court procedure.
Sorry, Mr. Ramosepedi.
Yes.
Ethics, are ethics still taught at university? Or when you are doing pupillage, or when you are doing articles?
My lord, it's one of the emphasis that they put at PLT and all these courses that they put, that our interaction with the court and our duty towards the court as practitioners, it's taught, my lord. It's well stressed, my lord.
Yeah, look at what you're telling me. He phones Advocate Mshololo to tell you to stand for him.
Yes.
He doesn't phone the court. This is Africa. He doesn't phone the court.
Yes, no, my
The
lord.
judge is irrelevant.
I would have thought, my lord, the proper channels normally, even us in court here, when we want to see the judge, we go through the registrar.
Yes.
We don't do as we please, my lord.
Because if he had phoned me, I wouldn't have driven from Krugersdorp to come here when he says he doesn't have a problem with the evidence which was adduced by the photographer and the interpreter. And that he hasn't consulted maybe with a witness which Mr. Baloyi wants to engage. I would have phoned the JP, the DJP, to phone another judge to come here, explain this to you,
Yes.
and postpone the matter to the pleasure of Mr. Mgomezu. Are you with me?
Indeed so, my lord.
And in the meantime, I will be doing some work, going through the evidence of this case of 8 months. Now I drive like a fool from Krugersdorp. I come here, I'm told this by you and by my registrar.
Yes.
And the attorney or the advocate involved doesn't even phone me. You know, today you can even send an SMS. If he doesn't want to speak to me, you can send an SMS or a WhatsApp.
Yes, my lord.
Mr. Mnisi, what's your view?
As the court pleases.
I think, my lord, it's not like there's nothing that we can't do. From what I gather from what Mr. Baloyi is saying, is that Mr. Ngomezulu says he would not have had any issues with regard to the 2 witnesses that Mr. Baloyi indicated to me today. So I would suggest that in that vein, we shouldn't waste any time, that we proceed with those 2 witnesses and leave everything for him to come and explain himself why he would not have been able to attend court today.
Yes. Mr. Norman?
My lord, if there is any of my colleagues who were contacted to stand in for Mr. Mgomezulu, we can proceed, my lord. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Shoro?
Thank you, my lord. My lord, I confirm that I did receive a call when I was sitting here in court after, I think it was after 9:30, my lord, from Mr. Mgomezulu.
After 9:30?
Yes, I was sitting here, my lord. And then the call, my lord, he indicated to me that we can proceed with the 2 witnesses, which is the photographer and the interpreter, and he was requesting that any further witness to that, we should ask that the matter be postponed for him to be present, my lord.
Okay.
But he did not say I must say to court. He was just informing me that he had made the arrangement with the state regarding that.
Yeah,
my
but he
lord.
says you must talk to your colleague, Mr. Ramsepi,
Yes, my lord. He said I must also talk to my colleague,
for
Mr.
him to
Ramsey.
stand in for his client.
Yes, my lord.
This is the miracle I'm trying to grapple with. Mr. Ngomezulu said accused number 1 has instructed him through his uncle. The mandate of Mr. Ramosipidi has been terminated. Is that not so?
Yes, that's correct, my lord.
Now today, the same Mr. Mgomezulu wants Mr. Ramosipidi, whose mandate has been terminated,
To stand.
to act on behalf of accused number 1, who has terminated the mandate of Mr. Ramosipidi. That's why I'm asking, are ethics taught in our universities?
They
What do
are
you think
taught.
of that proposition?
They are taught, my lord, we're not doing pupillage.
How do you act for a person who has fired you? Like Mr. Ramosipidi. And what will that person say? Oh, Mr. Sibiya, it's a joke with this court. Kusenkantolo ngimxoshile lo muntu. Mara nangu futhi uthi ungumele. We dealt with something on those lines. Hey, Mr. Mnisi.
That's the court visits, my lord. Those are my submissions, my lord.
Okay. Okay. I'll just keep quiet. Yes, let's see what you say.
As a God, please, my lord, I don't know if his client wants to say anything or make any suggestions, but will be the
No,
last.
what is he going to say? Because his
Yeah.
own advocate didn't even tell him anything. Ask him. Sir,
Ungasukuma muzi.
did you contact your advocate or were you contacted by your advocate for today?
Ummeli wakho uye wamshayela ucingo noma yena uye wakhulumisana nawe ngalelo daba leli namhlanje ngilibele ngokutolikela ngalo. No, my lord.
Nothing.
Lutho.
Okay.
I do not have access to the phone, my lord.
Oh, I see. Okay, let's commence, Mr.
Manje sizoqhubeka elibele engene. Kulungile lokho.